Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Resident Evil 5. We got through the first difficult section. There's kind of an open area. You have to beat all of the bad guys. And fortunately, if I'm remembering correctly, it's going to be kind of a while. And there aren't too many sections like this where there isn't some kind of trick or pattern that you can do. Or you need to do. So I've decided to let Sheva have all of the health items. She seems to be doing a decent job on it. They may have reprogrammed her a little bit. Like, now you can't hit these guys until they're routed. So there's this door here that gets us into the next area, but we want to get this first. A nice antique item. Treasure that will sell for a high price. Might as well continue our method of madness of breaking TVs if we can really pull it off. Interesting. I might actually not be able to break this TV. Maybe it already is broken. Interesting. Eventually we'll get these guns upgraded and have massive amount of damage, so there's guaranteed kills and stuff like that. So we've opened each of these doors, which implies that more people are going to come and attack us after we open this section.
Help! Somebody help me!
So we'd already seen this girl get dragged off once. And you can see the Resident Evil series has a penchant for girls in danger. Before we go directly though, we would like to... I'd like to get as many bullets and then as many pickup items as possible. Interesting. Sheva seems to... Her AI is rather funky. Like, she seems to run towards things if you're a moderate distance away from them. But if you get too close, she then just kind of follows you and doesn't actually break whatever you want her to break. Let's see. Up here, there's... Seems like there's nothing. Yeah, we're gonna run into a chainsaw guy. And we'll have to fight him. We got the old building key. And that gives us the shotgun. So now we are much better equipped to take on the chainsaw guy when he shows up. Ironically, this is just evidence that I don't really remember this portion of the game that well, because I just said that there was a lot. It was going to be a while until we were in an area where we were stuck fighting people, and that's certainly not the case. A lot of cutscenes here. Like, you could probably turn this whole game into just a 2-hour movie.
They may still be here.
And Capcom would certainly be a company to do something like that. It doesn't fully make sense that he'd be this trusting, since he'd already seen how these creatures can just be put in the mouth of them. Now, I guess I need to really applaud this game for not introducing multiple copies of the same white girl. Oh man. She doesn't really need my help. Alright, D-pad, by the way. But if you do help them, you will... IV relief. You will be able to punch. Let's see, combine with... Nope. Give. So now I'm giving Sheva my bullets because I don't know the button to split bullets. We will certainly see those larger worm style creatures, but they will be more in line with all the other Africans that are around in this area. Yeah, you can't really play with the knife. The good news is, I don't think any of these are infinite, and even if any of these were infinite, let's not use this right now. I may die. Like, it would just give you more items.
Matheson to HQ. We've lost contact with Alpha Team. They're under attack by an unidentified hostile. Reinforcements head toward the deal coordinates immediately.
Sheva here. Roger that.
Move out.
So we can stay here and try to take on these guys right now. Or we could run forward. Right now, I think the right move is to take this nice and slow. There's a door back this way. I believe there's some kind of booby trap. And again, I'm getting proven like this thing won't open unless you shoot it. So wasted one precious bullet. Let's go ahead and reload. And then give.
I owe you one.
If I stood right next to her, I would be able to heal her a little bit as well as myself, but I'm hoping I can find a red herb. And the reason these sections are so small is not really because of a limitation, I think, of the game itself. It's the fact that this game was the first online co-op game, and so they it was built around the concept of it was very much built around the concept of drop in and drop out co-op, so people would join with you in a play for a small section, and that'd be about all they would be willing to stay with. Remember that while the internet really hasn't improved that much in the United States, even between now and when this game came out, but it was slower. I don't have any flash grenades, so shooting rats isn't a good move. Also, sitting here trying to kill rats is a waste of time. Everything is falling apart. Guess this place was used for storage. A lot of these just investigate things. Probably were going to be lines of dialogue that they ran out of time to record, so they paid some writer to write the line of dialogue, and then they didn't. The voice actor didn't get it done in time, which isn't usually the voice actor's fault as much as it is just a budgeting issue. We were introduced to that new style of zombie, and now we're seeing this goo. And we're going to be introduced to our first, well, actually, I guess it's our second boss. This is kind of a boss rush game, but it's not as bad as RE6. And here's Alpha Team. All these people were supposed to be with us, backing us up, which is
His wounds weren't made by bullets.
like, it's kind of amazing and very realistic that you'd have this whole secondary team. But now I imagine speedrunners might be able to tell you exactly which crow to shoot for what pickup and which one would be a better more reward. Of course, when thinking of zombies, anybody who's dead could easily come back alive. Let's see, I shot that crow and I don't think that crow gave me anything. See, if I just get too close, this whole map also, just because they needed to keep the co-op players in the same area. 3 different pickups. There's no real reason in the game to have 3 pickups in the same chest, but it kind of makes sense. And I've been wrong several times now, so I wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong again. But let's equip the shotgun and see what happens. Of course, the cutscene puts you back into your handgun. They look pretty police-like. You know, that's who they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be private military contractors or actual government police of some sort, or UN-sanctioned police. All of Alpha Team was killed, leaving only the super powerful Chris Redfield.
It's dead regarding the deal.
And he hands you a hard drive, which hard drives are still used and recognizable, but give it another 10-15 years, that'll be very strange looking indeed, like these, what I would assume are directly designed after Plantronics headsets.
I saw someone, but they ran away.
Yeah, look at notice the camera takes the option to show her butt.
We got the data.
That was in Evil Within 2. There was at least one cutscene where the camera framed only the behind of the female character. That being said, Kidman versus Sheva are miles apart as far as women empowerment. Like, Sheva is here saving the day,
But we have to keep moving.
saving you half the time. Yeah, it feels like half the time she's programmed just to run towards things that can be broken to get your attention, but not to actually interact with them. There's no... Well, make sure the data gets to where it needs to be. Yeah, there's no other pickups. Take note here, you're only really going to have 50 pickups of handgun at any point. And, by the way, this is left on the D-pad, right on the D-pad, down on the D-pad, up on the D-pad. So if you wanted to move your guns in a different position, the game is actually helping you a little bit with that by automatically putting things where you think it thinks they should be. Yeah, you only really have about 25 shotguns in one space, maybe 100 SMG bullets. At a certain point, you're going to run out of space. Of course, you have your partner there, and she'll use up your bullets if you let her. And if you get really desperate, you can just give her the SMG while you're going at the enemy with a shotgun. So we are transitioning now, unlike Evil Within where you just randomly transitioned, we're transitioning in a very realistic way from what looked like a ghetto African town down to a underground area. That was most definitely one of the amazing things about Resident Evil 4 is the fact that it felt very natural that you started in a middle of Europe country and you ended up on an island, island prison. Alright. Want to be careful. I don't remember what triggers this boss fight, but we are about to be in a boss fight, so like it's one of a couple things. It's either investigating here or it's walking down this hallway or it's investigating this. We need a key. In theory, there is a way to beat this boss without running or anything. And I'm just kind of assuming I have checkpoints everywhere. So if I die, I don't fall back to as far back as the last place I think we were. So we see this incinerator room, and it's gonna play a part in this battle. Oh yeah, we're gonna get stuck in this area, and the idea is we're going to try and burn the boss. There's the key.
You need to be careful!
See, the second she had a health unit, she used it. I think I probably want to use the SMG. So what we're going to try and do is get the enemy in here just to spoil the surprise and burn him using this switch. Man, her AI is not that great, but it didn't get any better later. I can also try to shoot these and blow up the enemy. Let's see.
You grab it.
Okay.
Let's see, checkpoint right there. And maybe I tricked the game. I don't think so. Now, it was as you walk back, they lull you into a sense of security. Now, if I was Chris Redfield, I would just open the door and leave right now. Oh, here's another thing that wasn't in the Evil Within. The glowing targets on where you're supposed to shoot somebody.
I think that's what got Alpha Team.
Yeah. This was in Resident Evil 4. It was also in so here's the thing. There's no point in even trying to take the guy on until we can knock out some of his orb things. There we go. Here. Now, I've gone the wrong direction, so I need to actually convince him to... need him to be moving the other way. Alright. Like, I am as close as possible, and this is no way to play. That is no way to play at all. Alright. Where are you? Like, he's reconstituting himself. One kind of assumes that so, like, yeah, he needs to be in there. I'm about to die. And this room is just not gonna refill. There. I healed my partner instead of me. I really needed to heal myself. You really gotta get this guy in this area, down here, over here, and then activate this. Please shut quicker. So this furnace burns bigger and stronger than I guess what my bullets can do. These zombies very worm-like.
This thing was responsible for the death of Alpha Team. We need to report this to HQ.
Yep. And no real reward. No real reward for killing it, which kind of stinks, but you had to kill it, and you didn't have a choice. And one assumes it's dead. I used a lot of things to kill it, but yeah, I can't even say. I don't know if the next boss fight is 10 minutes or 30 minutes from now. I would like some health though. And you do come over here and get some handgun ammo.
You grab it.
So they're at least being slightly nice to you. Let's look around. See if there's a medallion to shoot. It seems like there should be one right there. I can't remember. It's been many years since I've played this game. Yeah, the chances of me finding all the collectibles are pretty low. Unless I just play this game multiple times. And even at that rate, as a YouTuber, I would probably play this over the course of such a long period of time, like once a year for 3 years. I still probably wouldn't remember where all the collectibles are. We're back to a cutscene. And somebody spying on us. Somebody with a logo.
Let's go.
So we get introduced to a new character. I don't think he actually plays any real major role after this game. There are a lot of throwaway bad guys that get added to the Resident Evil series.
Scumbag Irving left behind to set us up. Considering what it did to Alpha Team, I think we're lucky to still be breathing.
Only we could have gotten there sooner.
If we had, we'd probably be dead too.
Yeah. So, I guess the implication there is Alpha Team wore him down.
This is HQ. Excellent work out there. We'll analyze the data immediately.
This whole town's gone to hell. The people here, they're acting like those Ganado detailed in the Kennedy report. And aside from
Those
that,
are the enemies from
something
Resident Evil
something we've
4,
never
and Kennedy was the character.
Transportation has been taken out too. Requesting a mission update.
The mission stands. Capturing Irving is your top priority.
Irving, that's who that guy is.
The other side of the train station.
We haven't even seen him.
We're the only two left. You want us to go in there alone?
Delta team have been dispatched and are on their way. They'll assist you in locating and apprehending Irving.
But wait, we can't.
Repeat, your mission stands. We can't afford to let him get away. Proceed to the mines beyond the station. Over and out.
Like,
This is insane.
You ever get the feeling you're expendable?
when you look at Chris Redfield, he is just like super buff. And he's changed drastically throughout the Resident Evil series because he's been in a lot of the games. But his outfit too is like more militaristic and reasonable. Sheva, I don't know what she was doing. Let's see, we can view the BSAA file in the library. Sending data. I don't know what they're trying to send data to, if they're trying to connect to the internet. My firewall might actually be blocking them. You can see here there is one slight problem with the way I record. Since I leave the game paused, I don't think the game is removing time when the game is paused. Because it says we did chapter 1, 2, which I don't even know what that means. Is it chapter 2 of an entire story, or is it section 1, chapter 2? Either way, time is killing me here. Probably I'm not running very fast anyways, so I probably would have only gotten a B or an A if they took out the pause time. That's giving me a certain number of points, which is good, but I'm not sure what the points are really for, except for unlocking extras in the main menu, and we won't even get around to doing that until we're done playing the game. Accuracy 81.9%, enemies routed 20, 0 deaths, which gave me an S rank, so now you know S rank is the highest. You can't have less than 0 deaths. And that gave me an A overall. And everything is just like, everything is just autosave. It feels really strange. So we have a beautiful woman's portrait has been carved into ivory. The handiwork is impeccable. Now in Resident Evil 4 you had things that combined with other things. As far as I think in this game, no. There's no combining. Like, the options here are Y for details, left bump for cell, right bump for cell all. Kind of odd button choices. So you can look at it, but it's so small. There's no zooming in. That's kind of stinks. But maybe you can see these from the main menu too. Sell this for 2,000. Items sold. And then sell this for 2,000. Items sold. That is great. Put this in Chris's inventory, and might as well just sell this gun. I think that's the right move, and then give this to Sheva so she has some bullets. Either I made a huge mistake there, or the game is just wonky and weird. You can see though we are starting to run out of things. So next weapon I get, I probably will want to just give this item, this gun to Sheva. What can we buy right now? We could give a second shotgun to Sheva. Or we could give a machine gun to her. Or, with my 10,000, I can buy the melee vest. What does the melee vest do? Provides protection against melee attacks, can be worn with the bulletproof vest. Interesting. Maybe I shouldn't have purchased it, but I did anyways. Here's the problem. Now that I have the melee vest on, it's taking up yet another space. And it seems like we can upgrade our guns. Oh, why didn't I spend my money on that? Like, a full capacity upgrade probably would have given me bullets. Ooh. Well, I totally screwed up there. And I don't remember this game well enough to say whether I should upgrade the original guns or whether I'm going to get a second group of guns.
We can't let Irving get away. We have to get to the station.
Yeah. I've said that a lot, haven't I? I don't remember this game that much. It's hard to remember Resident Evil 5 because as you're playing it, if you've ever played RE4, you probably love that game a lot more. Frankly, if you'd played Resident Evil 6 and then played Resident Evil 5, you'd probably be frustrated with Resident Evil 6 and forget some of that too. If this wasn't a Resident Evil game and just a standalone thing, it would be a lot more memorable. It's good. It's just not as good as the other ones. And I imagine the people who've played Resident Evil like Code Veronica and 1, 2, and 3, I imagine they want a completely different style of gameplay, and they would also have some trouble with the second generation of Resident Evil games. I would argue that Resident Evil 7 is the mark of a third generation of Resident Evil games, if you ignore all the on-the-rails shooters and like Game Boy Resident Evil spin-off games that they made. Anyways, we've gone a little long. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good